All right, welcome. We are going to do some learning today. Some may know this, some may not. I know I don't know this. This is a sump pan off of my Tecumseh engine off of a Toro personal pace mower. Somehow, this is your... Boy, I tell you what, just when I want to start saying something, my friggin' words. Governor that keeps your idle speed and your RPMs at a steady, whatever you want your RPM at. Anyway, your governor. Something happened. All of a sudden, my RPMs were racing on my mower. Couldn't keep it under control, no matter what I did for the spring tension and other adjustments external-wise that you normally can control. Decided to tear it apart, and this is what I find. The governor decided it does not want to govern stuff anymore. So anyway, point being, I went and asked, learning a lot of stuff. I went and asked, like a dummy, on some of these small engine groups, hey, has anybody ever seen, well, I'm sure they have seen a lot of professional small engine mechanics are on there. How do you replace the governor? I looked up parts already. Each part, the center shaft here, which is pressed in, is available. The gear itself is available, and the spool that they call it up here, this piece here, are all available as individual pieces. Anywhere from, was it about 15 bucks for the gear? I forget what this was. Anyway, point being, about $25 to $30, I think. You could replace all of it, or like I said, for about 15 bucks, if all I need to replace is the gear itself. The spool looks fine, I think. No, that's broke right there, I believe. I'll check pictures to see just what this is supposed to look like. Actually, this is damaged. So anyway, for about 25, 30 bucks, a couple hours worth of my time, whatever downtime, to order parts, I could have a perfectly good running engine again. Personal pace. Those run for about 550 bucks right now, personal pace mowers. Why would I throw that away? Or spend the time trying to find another engine that may or may not actually work on this mower. Point being, yeah, I had a lot of experts tell me that there's a snap ring. I don't know if you can see it or not good enough. There is no snap ring here, which I knew within 10 minutes of me having this apart. I knew what I was looking at for how this was put together. Anyway, anywhere from snap rings, them telling me junk it, it's trash. One guy even went and said that he went out of business 20 years ago. I forget what his whole point of that was, but I'm like, I know why you went out of business, because you didn't want to repair people's stuff. You'd rather just tell them to go buy a new one. Anyway, we are going to do some learning here together. See if some of the stuff, I did have about 3 or 4 people actually help me post links to stuff, post actual troubleshooting or whatnot. We're going to see if we can get this pulled off, slid over this stud, because it's kind of mushroomed out here. Kind of like it was peen, everything was put together and then peened together. There's a ridge right here, so I'm not sure. We may have to pull this whole shaft, because one person actually said that whole shaft needs to come out. So if that whole shaft comes out and then the gear slides off the other direction, we'll see. But yeah, definitely no snap rings to do this. So I'm going to just, if it breaks more, it breaks more, but we're just going to use a couple pry bars, do what we can. If we need to get a hammer and like I said, the shaft is available, so if we need to grab onto that thing with vice grips and beat on it and yank on it and whatnot, we will. But yeah, we're going to learn together so that we can tell all these other guys, these experts, the few that were correct and all the other naysayers, that it can be done. And yeah, so I think I'm going to try to pry this off first, see how easy. Oh, Actually, that is coming off real easy right now. Well, that's nice to know. Yeah, that slid off easy. I guess it's just enough. Actually, that feels like plastic. That's plastic. I thought that was metal. That's why that's able to slide off easy enough. The gear definitely is not going to slide off because of that ridge. But we'll probably, like I said, if we break it more, you know, no big deal. It's already broke, right? I'm going to get under here. Maybe that whole shaft will come out. I don't know how tight it is pressed in here. How tight a press fit. Who knows that? I might be able to grab onto that and pull it out with just a pair of pliers. But I'm going to go ahead and do the pry thing first, just because leverage is a lot easier than other stuff. I can see the gear flexing. Also careful on the aluminum edge here, but we will see. Yeah, it's just, I think that's just flexing that gear. But again, too, hey, if we get the gear off, I know that the new gear most likely will not slide over. But we may pull that center shaft out also, just to, oh, look at that. That's fine. And actually might be able to get that center shaft out easier once the gear is off. Washer, gotta be careful of this washer down here. There's a like a bushing for it to spin on, so it's not just spinning on the case. Let's see. Think, let me pause for just a second. I'm going to grab a vice grip. Got a pair of needle nose here. I'm going to grab a vice grip, I think, and we'll see if we can maybe grab onto that. Maybe take a hammer, ball peen or something, tap on it. Maybe that'll give it to jump out. The back side is enclosed, so there is no way to drive it through from the back side. But let me grab a couple extra tools here and we'll go from there. Let's see. I tried a couple different options just to see what may or may not grip. We're gonna see if this will do something. If I damage the shaft, like I said, the shaft is available, so I don't have a slide hammer, so we're making our own. I'm gonna watch here and see. I don't know if you guys can see it, probably not, but I'm gonna watch here and see if this moves. Moving the whole bench is what I'm doing. I've got jaw protectors, aluminum jaw protectors in the vise. Yeah, and that's not marring anything, so we're good. But so maybe put this in this way, get a little bit straighter on the I don't think we're moving that at all. And my vice grips are just sliding on that. Yeah, I don't think that's moving at all. Let me see if I got another better pair of vice grips. Okay, here's my new setup. I got that shaft in the vise, holding on to it because the vice grips kept sliding, plus I didn't have room to swing. I just started. It's already moving, so I'm going to set you up. We'll finish this off right quick. I didn't want didn't want you all to miss all the fun, but I'm going to set you up. I'll finish knocking this off just so you can see how I ended up doing it, and then we'll inspect our parts from there. Like I said, this is aluminum. I'll put a couple small dings, I'll show you that, but that'll be easy enough to blend out, and the main surface is not damaged. But I'm using the flat surface of these adjustables and a good hammer. I'm up against it so that hopefully it doesn't fall on the ground. I do have a padded mat that I stand on, but yeah. Now I'm able to see it move. You know, of course, the gap amount of space I've got, I'm able to see it move, so that's how I knew it was working. Put this up against as flat as I can. There we go. You see, I got a small ding there. Of course, the main surface, I'll blemish that out or file that down so that's smooth. But the main sealing surface is still going to seal. We'll be fine. So there's the washer. This is splined. That's why I couldn't twist it or whatever to get it out. This is splined, which I knew from pictures. Good old diagrams. But I got obviously damage on here now, so we'll get a new shaft New gear. I can't remember the price of the spool. Well, yeah, we had to get a new one of these anyway because this is damaged and it is plastic. So that's fine. Yeah, the gear will slide down from the bot. The gear will slide on this way. We'll press this in. Pressing in will be a lot easier than getting out because we can just use the vise to draw it up and press it in nice and easy. And then that top spool that they call it, that'll just drop down on and right over that nub. So awesome, good enough. That works. I'm gonna get some parts on order, so it'll probably be about a week or so before I get back to this, depending on how fast they come in. But I'll get some parts on order and I'll bring you back when we're ready to put them back in. Okay, I got all my parts in. $28 total. Shipped, Amazon. Everything arrived separate days, of course. Nothing could arrive the same day. But that's okay. We have got our new original Tecumseh part. Honestly, the well, some stuff I could only find OE, and at the same time, some of the OE stuff was actually cheaper than the aftermarket, if I could find the aftermarket. Come on, get out of there. Holy crap. But got our new spool. That one was damaged, I believe. Nope, that wasn't. It's still damaged. I thought maybe that ear had broke off, but it wasn't. So we got our new spool. It's pretty obvious. Gear is new and good. Even came with a new washer. So we got the new washer and new gear. And last, new shaft. Honestly, I would not have, if I had known how to take this apart initially or thought about it a little bit more. I damaged this one. I don't know if you can see that or not. Damaged this one because of trying to use vice grips, trying to tap it out like a slide hammer. It ended up boogering up the shaft. And I didn't want to, I could have smoothed that out some. I don't want this to get hung up. So 10 extra bucks. This could have only cost me 18 bucks or so. It cost me 28 total. Even still, no big deal. Got a new shaft to replace that guy. Yeah. There is no clips on this style. In fact, I forgot I looked at this earlier. This box, this shaft even came with directions. One shows you which way to put it together, you know, the washer first, whatever. Shim. Don't know what the shim is for exactly, but whatever. We're pressing it back together with clearance just like it was before. But these directions even said without C-clip, C-ring. On the groups, on the forum, like I mentioned earlier, all the you try to ask for advice on stuff and everybody wants to tell you, you know, what they know or don't know. And that you're wrong, of course, even though you're looking right at it in your own unit. But there is no C-clip on this. I will admit the diagram did show some C-clips, which I did order just because who knows, the next one I tear apart might have C-clips. But this one does not. So if you're looking right at something, don't let anybody else tell you you're wrong, even if you're looking right at it and you know you're right. Enough of my rant on that for now. I'm sure I'll go off some other time on something else. But let's go ahead and shift some stuff around here and put this back together. Let me see if I can put some stuff. I need to clear off my workbench is what I need to do. I've got all the gasket surfaces cleaned up. All the everything got wiped out as best I could. For what little bit is left, there's maybe a little bit of dust, something, but for what's in there, nothing's going to hurt anything. It's 20-year-old, 15-year-old mower, whatever it was. I forget what the date code on this was. Either way, it's not a brand new mower. There's already this. I'll do an initial flush. You know, put some oil in here and do an initial flush anyway. So first, actually, we don't need this just yet. Move that out of the way. We're going to need the base. First thing first. Oh man, phone keeps going off. First thing was the washer went on top. Actually, my mistake. The gear, then the washer, and then we will go ahead and press this together. Let me get you set up, flipped around. I'll show you how I'm going to press this together. Same way we well, not the same way, but with the vise, same way we took it apart with tapping it out. We're just going to use the vise to press everything together. So let me get you flipped around so we can see this better. And we'll get that done. Okay. Double check the instructions. Believe it or not, I actually did. The end play there, that shim gauge, I mentioned I was going to go by just how much we had in there before, or, you know, just some end play. It actually does say on the one side with the directions about 10 to 20 thousandths clearance. So I broke out my feeler gauge set. We'll go with that. We'll just get this, got the washer, the gear. It says to get it started by tapping it with a mallet or something, but it sticks in there just fine. Stays in place, whatever you want to call it. We'll get this started here. Get everything squared up as best we can so it presses in straight. If it starts to slip or slide, I'll rearrange. I'm watching down here. I know you guys probably angled, not good for you guys, but it's kind of more important that I get to see this, obviously. But you get the idea. Anyway, I'm watching down here, making sure that this is sliding in and not doing anything it shouldn't. I like using these, but I think I'm going to take that out. It's to help protect stuff so it doesn't mar it up. I'm going to take that out and go straight against the vise teeth. Yeah, okay, we're going in good now. I did keep that jaw piece on the back side just to up against the aluminum housing here. Okay. That shim that they're talking about, I don't know if you noticed in the picture, is cut out. That's so you can go around the shaft, but we're going slow enough here. There, we're just starting to grab. You can go just a little bit more. There. It's also kind of bending at an angle, but we are still able to get in decent, and there's plenty of, it's not pressed down so hard that it's gonna bind. So that's perfect. Maybe not perfect, but it's good. Yep. Cords and crap. Okay. As for the spool, these two ears, this is flared out right here. I don't know if you remember seeing that. I don't know if you can actually see that. Maybe you can see that. I don't know. Anyway, it's flared out a little bit, so when this plastic goes over that, actually I probably could put a dab of oil on there too. But these ears, see how they're shaped? These bottom ones will fit over the bottom, so it'll be in there like this, you know, on the spool. When these throw up and out, that's will push on the bottom side and push the spool, your governor, faster or slower to control your throttle. So let me put just a touch of oil, or a little more than a touch of oil. Stay. Well, those little ears keep flopping in. Come on. Might be better if I see if I can't push down firmly on that. Okay, we're past that. There it is. Slid past there. And that flare out up top is what keeps that on. Not a C-clip, not an E-clip, not a ring. But yeah. Yep. As that throws out, of course it's going to fall on me. As these throw out, bottom pushes up on the bottom there. I thought it pushed up on the top, but it doesn't. See, we're all learning here. It'll push up, push your governor out, which in turn throws your lever on the outside of your engine there, which in turn controls your throttle blade. So I don't know if that's coming out or not. Anyway, as they throw out, pushes that up. You get the idea. Okay. Let's bring our case back over. New gasket. Here's the throttle lever. I don't know if you guys can see inside. That arm right there, when you move your throttle, or the governor, rides on that arm. I'm hitting up against something here, but moves that linkage. And your throttle right here, your throttle blade inside, to increase and reduce RPMs as necessary. That's all adjusted by that spring tension. Probably get pliers to turn that so that we can get that to line up with the gears here. That gear and that gear. Let me grab something to turn on that. When you're working blind, you're only able to see through, a gap down here to see if everything's lining up. Luckily, there's guide pins for the gasket, so it should stay in place. Okay, the cam had to drop into that. We had to make sure our gear's cleared. Turn this slowly so we don't ruin the plastic gear until there we go. Case closed down. Everything's down where it needs to be. Sweet. Get the bolts in. Torque on these were 110 to 130. I'm going to go to 130 just because these have been used. Get the right socket for these. Where the heck did my socket go? Let me find my socket right quick. Okay, found it. Yeah, 110 to 130 inch pounds, not foot pounds, inch pounds. These are aluminum. Well, going into aluminum. Make sure you're still in frame here. You're not. Okay. 130. There's the 130. Right there. These bolts were all the same length. By the way, this is Tecumseh. Briggs & Stratton will most likely be different. This is for this Tecumseh. So double check. There's websites out there. Just Google torque specs for sump on Tecumseh or whatever, and some sites will have you search by serial number. Some sites will search by will just tell you, like this one gave me a range. I'm going to run these down with the drill screw gun right quick, just save on some whatever. And we do a star pattern. I'm going to go a little bit on each one and work up to that 130. That way you get it as evenly torqued down as possible. Okay, everything's pretty snug. We'll go around torque it. When using a torque wrench, don't grab up here. Grab back here on the handle. I guess we're going to go around a little bit more. There we go, that one went. This one was probably close. Yeah, that one was close. Oop, sorry. And I was always taught, once you did your pattern, go around one more time. That way, A, in case you missed one, you get it, and B, as you torque stuff down, one side will lean more than the other or whatever. You'll one side may have loosened up when you torqued another side. So go around one more time when you're done, just to make sure you didn't miss anything and everything's torqued good. So there we go, one governor installed. I didn't have to trash the motor. I didn't have to go find another junk motor to put on. 30 bucks. Gasket was $2.50. I was less than $5. But anyway, but the main gears themselves, and I could have actually done it cheaper if I hadn't damaged that shaft. But for about 30 bucks, a couple hours worth of time. I know not everybody's got time. I know time's more valuable to some people than others. Whatever, it is what it is. I do this as a hobby, not as a job. I'll flip these if I can. If somebody wants to buy one, heck yeah, I'll sell it. So I make sure I watch how much money I put into something. But at the same time, for a personal pace, if you've priced personal pace, the Toro personal pace mowers at Lowe's lately, they're 550 bucks new. Granted, this isn't a new mower, and I wouldn't expect to sell this for new prices, but I'm pretty sure I could get close to 200 bucks out of a very nice, good running used personal pace mower. And I put 30 bucks, maybe, I think I did something else to it, maybe a carb kit or something like that. So you got all of, we'll say 40, 45 bucks into something, and you sell it for 200. Heck, you even sell it for 100. There's 60 bucks profit, give or take. 160 bucks profit, whatever. So just because somebody their automatic answer is to trash it. Do a little research first, and if you've got the time and you got a little bit of know-how, YouTube videos out there everywhere these days. 30 bucks, I've got a, you know, I didn't have to go spend, if I wanted a personal pace mower to replace this one, I didn't have to go spend another 500 bucks for a new mower. And somebody will be happy to get this $200 mower, you know, without having to spend 500 on another one. So anyway, rant over. Thanks for you guys for watching, and I'm gonna put this on and get this one running again. Catch y'all later.